Section 0 of The Curious Book of Birds. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Jill Engel. The Curious Book of Birds by Abbie Farwell Brown. Preface. There are many books written nowadays which will tell you about birds as folk of the 20th century see them. They describe carefully the singer's house, his habits, the number of his little wife's eggs, and the color of every tiny feather on her pretty wings. But these books tell you nothing at all about bird history, about what birds have meant to all the generations of men, women, and children since the world began. You would think, to read the words of the bird book men, that they were the very first folk to see any bird, and that what they think they have seen is the only matter worth the knowing. Now, the interesting facts about birds we have always with us. We can find them out for ourselves, which is a very pleasant thing to do, or we can take the word of others, of which there is no lack. But it is the quaint fancies about birds which are in danger of being lost. The long-time fancies which the world's children in all lands have been taught are quite as important as the everyday facts. They show what the little feathered brothers have been to the children of men, how we have come to like some and to dislike others as we do, why the poets have called them by certain nicknames which we ought to know, and why a great many strange things are so in the minds of childlike people. Facts are not what one looks for in a curious book. Yet it may be that some facts have crept in among the ancient fancies of this volume, just as bookworms will crawl into the nicest books, but they do not belong there, and it is for these that the book apologizes to the children. It has no apology to offer those grown folks who insist that facts, never fancies, are what children need. End of the preface. Recording by Jill Engel.
Section 1 of The Curious Book of Birds. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information, or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Charlotte Day. The Curious Book of Birds by Abbie Farwell Brown. The Disobedient Woodpecker. Long, long ago, at the beginning of things, they say that the Lord made the world smooth and round like an apple. There were no hills nor mountains, nor were there any hollows or valleys to hold the seas and rivers, fountains and pools, which the world of men would need. It must indeed have been a stupid and ugly earth in those days, with no chance for swimming or sailing, rowing or fishing. But as yet there was no one to think anything about it, no one who would long to swim, sail, row, and fish, for this was long before men were created. The Lord looked about him at the flocks of newly made birds, who were preening their wings and wondering at their own bright feathers, and said to himself, I will make these pretty creatures useful, from the very beginning, so that in after time men shall love them dearly. Come, my birds, he cried, come hither to me, and with the beaks which I have given you, hollow me out here, and here, and here, basins for the lakes and pools which I intend to fill with water for men and for you, their friends. Come, little brothers, busy yourselves as you would wish to be happy hereafter. Then there was a twittering and fluttering as the good birds set to work with a will, singing happily over the work which their dear Lord had given them to do. They pecked and they pecked with their sharp little bills, they scratched and they scratched with their sharp little claws, till in the proper places they had hollowed out great basins and valleys, and long river beds, and little holes in the ground. Then the Lord sent great rains upon the earth, until the hollows which the birds had made were filled with water, and so became rivers and lakes, little brooks and fountains, just as we see them today. Now it was a beautiful, beautiful world.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?